Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
A very pleasant good day to you from the Martensville Curling Club in Saskatchewan. It's the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial here on Curling Stadium and Curling Zone on YouTube. We have this matchup between Nancy Martin and Steve Laycock versus Chiaki Matsumura and oh my goodness, Yasumasa Tanida. I know how to say that, Jason. I really do. I'm Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Jason and Rory McCusker is here with us today as well.
Good afternoon, Dave. Great matchup today. Martin Laycock, Tanida, Matsumura. I think Tanida and Matsumura ranked 7th in the world right now in mixed doubles ranking. Martin and Laycock not far behind 13th. So this is two powerhouse teams.
And this spiel has no shortage of them, Jason. A quick look at the field tells me that the number 1, number 4, number 7, number 12, number 14, and number 18 teams in the world are in this.
Yeah, this spiel always attracts some big names and a lot of international names as well, including Gillian Hewitt from Australia, Matsumura and Tanida from Japan. We have the Finns here as well. We saw Jenny Perret and Martin Rios this morning in the opening draw in a great match.
That was a good game. It came down to a very crucial shot at the end, which was almost impossible. So we see Martin and Laycock, they're throwing the red stones.
And they've got last stone advantage as well here in the first. They won that draw to the button.
So here's Steve Laycock. Steve Laycock, of course, no stranger to competitive curling. Been hearing his name called for years and years.
Yeah, a staple out of Saskatchewan for sure. Bronze medalist at the 2015 Brier. I think also a World Junior champion as well. A good series of draws, right? There's that first stationary stone that's in the back of the 4, or touching the back of the 4. That was the Martin Laycock stone. Then Matsumura and Tanida played the freeze. Martin Laycock froze on top, and then another freeze right on top.
And this one does get a little bit too close to the guard and chaps off.
That's not too bad, though. It ends up being another guard, and red does have shot stone right now, although Martin and Laycock would love to find a way to score a second point here with last stone advantage.
Yeah, it is dead on the button, but it is sandwiched by a pair of yellow friends.
Yeah, right now there is still room on this outturn side to get a second stone in there. That's why the Japanese duo, they're trying to get in there first and probably try to corner freeze onto the red stone.
And that's so much of the game of mixed doubles, Jason, setting up the angles.
Oh, absolutely. And there's only a limited number of rocks you throw, right? 5 rocks per team per end. Of course, the stationary stones, that's 6 rocks in play overall. So the action gets to the middle very quickly. It's very high paced, but you've got to get the angles right early, or else you're going to be in big trouble really quickly.
And of course, both teams are afforded a power play that they can use anytime they have the last stone.
Yasumasa Tanida sweeping the stone in here.
Sells in just alongside. Still shot stone for Martin and Laycock.
Yeah, but they've really cut down the scoring area now. That red stone still shot stone, as you said, Dave, but not a lot of room to get a second one in. In fact, no room right now, so you have to make a little bit of a play on this, try to bump this yellow stone back and sit right there. You probably will only be third shot after this, but maybe you'll have a chance to move it up later.
Yeah, this is one where you just want to jiggle it just a little bit. A little jostle.
Yeah, just try to create a little bit of space there.
Fans watching from the rafters here in Martensville. Steve Laycock with his delivery on the way, just trying to get down to the face of that Yellowstone and unlock it just a hair.
Yeah, I think if you can move it just to the back of the 4 or back of the 8, that would be that'd be sufficient.
And that one also chisels off the guard, so big miss there.
Yeah, I think it was probably just light. They were trying to get to that yellow stone, so that never had enough weight for that.
So do you think there's enough room around there for Matsumura and Tanida to make an offensive play here?
Looks pretty tough. I'm not sure you can throw much weight to make an offensive play. If that red stone that Steve just played wasn't there, you may be able to throw a little bit of weight at it, hit that yellow stone, and make the red stone go sideways. But I'm not sure you can get that action here. Maybe just trying to get another rock to guard the situation. Pretty content with forcing.
Force is always a good outcome in mixed doubles curling, in the 4-person game as well, but especially good in mixed doubles.
Yeah, and I would say it is because in mixed doubles, when you have the last stone advantage, sometimes it's much easier, I think, to put up big numbers on the board relative to the 4-person game. You can see 3s, 4s, and 5s pop up pretty easily in mixed doubles.
So they just kind of guarded the way in there. The question is there any kind of run available for Martin and Laycock?
Well, I think if they want any chance to score multiples, they have to make some sort of play. They've either got to open up the front. There is a little bit of danger of opening up the front, though. Like I said, if you open it up such that the Japanese duo can make a play on that yellow-red and shoot that red sideways, that could leave you, or leave yellow sitting 2 or 3. So have to be careful here.
Yes, the Yellowstone that was just thrown into the yellow that's frozen onto the red at the moment would serve to kick that out the side door.
Yeah, they're really having a good look at this, and I'm not sure what they've decided, though, with the broom where it is.
Got 12. Got 12.
Are they trying to come through that hole, Dave? Is there a hole?
Anytime I say there's not a hole, it turns out there is one. Steve's just watching this one come on down.
No, it looks like they're just guarding, eh?
Yeah, just throwing a guard. Needs to get over a little bit further.
Yeah, I think they were worried about the Matsumura and Tanida being able to make a play into that yellow-red combination using one of those guards. So I think they've protected it pretty good now.
I mean, do you think if you hit what you can see of the yellow, is that enough, Jason? Probably not.
I don't think so. I don't think... Does look like they're going to try to make this play, though, with a little bit of a softer weight here.
I don't think there's a tremendous downside to attempting it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Maybe the only risk if you somehow shoot it a little bit too sideways, hit that rock in the top of the forefoot that's on the center line, and chip that off. Then maybe you can run the red in and sit two. Well, let's see what happens here.
Absolutely, they're last for the first.
Yeah, Chiaki Matsumura, this is soft weight. I think they recognize it needs to do a little bit of curling after it gets by the guard.
Trying to carve it over and walk it there. Gonna just graze it and not really have anything happen.
Yeah,
So
they're going to have a look, but I'm not sure there's anything to do here.
Yep, and they just said that there's nothing there to do. It's one red. Martin and Laycock get the first one on the board. We'll be back with the second end after this.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
And welcome back to Martensville. It's the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial. Dave Schmel and Jason Chang, Rory McCusker on the production, and all of you here with us on Curling Zone and Curling Stadium, part of the SSN Stadium Sports Network. And it was a single point for Martin and Laycock there in the first end because of just some good shooting by Matsumura and Tanida, Jay.
Yeah, they clogged up the middle with some nice freezes, and really there was no space for another stone in there. So that that red stone that I think Nancy played actually ended up being the shot stone, the first rock, and it never moved.
See, the first stone from Nancy there is not up to the face, so it leaves a pocket there. So something for Matsumura and Tanida to work with.
Yeah, slips behind the tee line, but more importantly, it didn't quite get frozen onto the yellow stone, onto the face, just a little bit to the side of it. This duo, Matsumura and Tanida, they've been playing together for quite a long time and have had some good success on the mixed doubles circuit, as well as the 2023 World Mixed Doubles silver medalists.
Now that stone comes at a much better angle. So it'll be up to Steve Laycock to execute another freeze here. Probably looking to get towards the center line side, eh?
Yeah, try to freeze on the inside of that yellow stone that was just played.
And this is that mixed doubles dance that happens almost every end.
And he probably wouldn't even mind moving that red stone back just a hair, just unlocking that yellow stone. Again, no takeouts yet can be played. Mixed doubles rules. You Got to wait till the 4th thrown stone to play takeouts. That's the Hammer team's 2nd stone.
I like to look at it as just like the 5 rock rule on steroids. Once you see 5 stones, you can hit away. The stone from Laycock gets the job done. So we're going to freeze back on the outside corner again and try to keep those angles moving the way you want.
Yeah, they're also looking at maybe hitting this now. They can hit at this point.
I think that's a big, it's a big point in any end in mixed doubles is when you decide to turn on the hits, so to speak.
Yeah, I think they're wondering where the red stones will go if they play a hit. Will the back red one jam on that back yellow one? How far will that yellow one that's kind of sandwiched in between squirt to the side? So maybe just thinking about the weight here. They may not be hitting it with a full weight, just jiggling the angles around some more.
So Tanida's going to put his jiggle shoes on.
Soft weight here, maybe board.
Yellow rock making its way down. Past the guard, gonna jiggle it, and will you clear that one out of the scoring area completely? I think you will.
Yeah, good shot. I think that's what they wanted to do. They pushed those stones back. Your yellow stone, that shooter rock is in the top of the 4 in a good spot there. Can always move that up. Something that Martin and Laycock will definitely have to deal with on their next stone.
Yeah, nice scrub by Tanida to get it all the way to the back of the 8-foot.
Looks like red is still shot stone. Yellow 2nd and 3rd. But that yellow stone in a very dangerous spot, so Steve Laycock is going to make a play on this. I think maybe back house weight, push it back, roll to the inside.
Yeah, it sounds perfectly fine. You don't need to have a tremendous amount of weight. You see it coming on down. Over all those logos in the ice. Chief ice maker and club manager James Gordon had to work some overtime in Martensville this year. Steve trying to bring this one down. It's just going to be a draw to the top of the 4. So they lie 1st and 3rd, Jason.
Yeah, I thought they would play it with some weight. I'm not sure if that was just underthrown or they just decided they would play a draw there and sit 1st and 3rd, like you said.
It's a bit of an opportunity here for the yellow squad.
Yeah, I think Tanida would like to push this yellow stone straight back and have it frozen on that back red and then keep the shooter right there.
And that's going to bring 2 certainly into the conversation. Trying to walk it over just a little bit. This is not going to curl up far enough. Does it stay on the back red?
Yeah, just hit it a little bit too much on the high side. That opens the door here for, I think, Martin Laycock to get one in there.
See there the result. They're still shot stone for Martin and Laycock, so they can lay another one in there, try to put the force in order. Or you could I don't think there's ever a world you throw that double. I think you're just better off drawing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. That double really doesn't gain you anything. You are already shot stone. That double will leave your stones behind the tee line as well. So I think a draw makes sense. I guess you can also hit and roll in there if you're worried about this yellow stone ever coming back and biting you. But I don't think that yellow stone will ever count because there's that red stone that's almost nibbling the 4-foot that's behind the guard. So
Well, this is ice to make a play on the yellow.
I think maybe they're worried that if they don't make this hit and roll or get this rock into position by hitting and rolling, Matsumura and Tanida could come off of that yellow stone later in the end and score that way. Gentle weight here, Steve trying to move the rock over now. Gets it roll right onto the pin.
Nice shot by Steve Laycock.
Yeah, and as I was saying before, if you had just drawn there, then Matsumura and Tanida could have come in off that yellow stone and pushed the red stone sideways. So
tough shot to execute here now.
yeah, they have to run the front now. Getting very late in the end here, but they've got no choice.
Now you need to protect against the steal at all cost.
You can get those red ones to get through this hole at the back and just open everything up.
So just the top one when it's all said and done.
Yeah, the big weight couldn't get any action on the rocks in the house, so really good situation here for Martin and Laycock.
So do you play a straight guard? I mean, that's certainly an option.
I kind of like the straight guard, Dave. You are sitting 2 right now. I think you don't want to give him a chance to splash everything open. I don't know. I think you can get the red ones all to go without disturbing the yellow one if you hit it properly. So might be tough to get that one on the pin out. So you're kind of trying to squeeze it through the middle and maybe graze the red on the back 4, and hopefully it doesn't shoot sideways back onto the yellow, I guess.
Yeah, I see being able to do that, but I don't know how your shooter counts. So I think I'm guarding this all day.
I'm definitely guarding this, and I think you'll probably see Matsumura and Tanida just drawing to the side of the button or the full 4-foot to just give up one, or maybe just hitting that back stone.
I think they'll likely play the in-turn and just try to tap it off the pinhole if they can. If not, they'll have backing to only give up one. So Nancy Martin with their final stone of the second. Laycock brings it down, trying to walk it over just a little bit.
They've actually decided to hit the back one and sit 4 or 5, which is not a bad call either.
It's always good to sit a lot.
Well, they're sitting 4.
That's a lot. I don't think there's a way to make a quad and sit 2, so they are just going to try to draw the side of the button, like you said.
Yeah, probably too risky to try the quad. It may or may not be there, but
Oh, the quad is always there.
It might actually be there, but it's very risky.
So final stone of the second end, facing 4. Chiaki Matsumura. Tanida, not a brush stroke yet. This one is hanging out there, and it has a lot of weight. It needs to turn and grind, turn and grind. Will it turn and grind? It's not going to. Does cut him down, but steal a 1 for Martin Laycock. They have a 2-stone advantage. We'll be back from Martensville right after this. You're watching Curling Stadium.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
And welcome back to Martensville here on Curling Stadium. It's the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial. A steal of 1 for Martin and Laycock. They have a 2-stone advantage over Matsumura and Tanida. Hey Schmel and Jason Chang here with you. Thank you for joining us. And good execution there for them, for Martin and Laycock to work out that steal there, Jay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was all set up by that Steve Laycock hit and roll right to the pin. And that was so brilliantly executed. Also very well thought out, because we were thinking, why don't you just draw there? But he knew that if he drew there, the other team, the Japanese duo, could have come in off that yellow stone. So he hit and rolled there instead, and he made it perfect. It's always hard to put the stone in the spot you want on a hit and roll. It's much easier to just draw it there. But man, did he make such a good shot there.
And we have a nice pair of opening shots. The draw from Nancy Martin came right down to the face, and Matsumura's is right in front of it on top of the button. So now we'll see Laycock.
There are 18 teams here at the Aly Jenkins, and the top 8 teams after the preliminary round, they're going through to the quarterfinals. And we're going to have all the coverage.
Yep, no reason to miss anything. Absolutely. Laycock trying to hold that out there. Gonna just squeeze past the guard, plenty of room there, and just a little bit lighter than I think they would have liked.
Yeah, I wanted it to get a little bit deeper for sure.
So you see Chiaki indicating that they might want to sneak in there in between that top 8 and the 4-foot stone. It's a very fine shot to make, electing instead just to open things up here.
Yeah, and the trick in mixed doubles is figuring out when you're going to open up that front or drive that stationary guard that's already in play into the rings. As we said, there's only 5 stones, and you can only throw hits, on your second stone if you got last stone. So that's a nice shot.
Nice shot. They peel off the 2 reds. So it's a lonely Martin and Laycock stone. 1 strawberry sandwiched between 2 lemons. What's your take?
Still in season, Dave?
Strawberry. Well, given the wonders of modern logistics, everything's always in season. In fact, I think if I get strawberries at the market right now, they're made in Canada in a hothouse someplace. What's your take on strawberry lemonade?
Oh, strawberry lemonade. Well, I like lemonade, and I like strawberries when they're in season. So I think I'd like strawberry lemonade. Just a guard here, eh?
Does appear to be what Steve is walking on down.
Red is shot stone right now, so up by 2 with shot stone frozen on the back of the button.
That's a good position to be in. Strawberries, Jason, are the only fruit that has its seed on the outside.
Fun fact.
It is a fun fact. I had to work them in someplace because you're not going to get blank ends in this format.
What's also very good, and I've had this in Japan, I believe, is the strawberry shortcake Kit Kat bars. Got so many flavors.
This actually came up in the first draw. How many different flavors of Kit Kats there are. It's amazing how many Kit Kats they have. Yeah,
I wasn't tuning in, Dave, so I was getting prepared for my season debut with you on this draw, so I was doing my research and making some notes, and I didn't catch the first draw.
No, we actually did bring up the plethora of fun Japanese snack flavors. Here comes the run back. The yellow, past the guard. Oh, it slides past everything.
It just hit it a little too high. Needed to curl just a hair more, really.
And then, of course, you had the fruit sandwiches, which are, just white bread with fruit and cream on them.
Oh, yes, delicious. Simple, but very refreshing. With that fruit in the middle.
Absolutely. When I was in Kinosaki Onsen, I was leaving my onsen, standing outside the JR station waiting for my train back, and there was this bakery, and a line was forming outside of it. So I said, I should get in line. And eventually this...
not knowing what it was.
That's right. A woman walked out, they rang a bell, and more people got in line behind me. And it was this wonderfully jiggly milk egg bread cake that was so delicious. So now that we got everybody hungry...
Yeah, Steve Laycock trying to put another red stone in the way, another guard here. This end's starting to look better and better now for Martin and Laycock. There is still room to get to the pin, maybe, on the intern side. I'm not sure. It'll be pretty tight, but the pin is visible.
So they got a good guard in there. Here, okay, so we're getting a fun fact shared with us. Kit Kat sounds like kitakasu, which means absolutely win in Japanese, which is why it's so popular. One of the reasons. Naming is everything.
Oh, that's a really cool fun fact. Kittakatsu.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good travel tip for anybody who's listening. If you see a line of locals outside of an establishment, it's there for a reason. Don't go to the place that has no line next door just because you're in a hurry. If the locals are willing to wait, you should be willing to wait.
Well, they've looked this over, Matsumura and Tanida, quite a bit.
It looks like they indicated for hack weight here.
Try to get that one in the top of the rings and maybe roll it over? Is that what they're trying here?
Yeah, I do believe they're trying to attempt something like that. So the squad from Nagano and Hokkaido, with their stone on the way, they're trailing by 2.
Line looks pretty good.
Yep, past the guard. They're going to get the roll. Clear the Martin and Laycock stone out of the way. Gives them access at it, but I don't know, Jason. I think I'd be inclined just to put that guard up there again.
I think so.
That's what Nancy wants.
I wasn't really sure. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what that was going to ultimately accomplish. I thought they would just double peel the guards. I know it's they're probably getting forced here at best, but making that hit and flop over just kind of makes things more congested for them. It's another rock in the house, but there's really no way that red stone that's frozen on the back can get out at the moment. So more yellow stones in the house really isn't helping you.
If anything, I would have maybe drawn a winger in there to have something to make possibly throw an in off on, but so the guard on the way from Nancy Martin. A long-time skip herself, as is Steve Laycock.
Yeah, Nancy still plays at a very high level in the women's game.
We have plenty of opportunities to watch her action here on Curling Stadium. So that guard is basically exactly where they want it, so this is going to force what likely is going to be a very fine draw. Although they're looking at the angles here.
Yeah, I think you can also tap. I'm not sure there's really any way to score multiples here, so you can tap the red into the yellow, move it up a bit to score, or try to draw to the pin. It's very tough to get to the pin based on this overhead. You can only see a pin plus a little bit, so
the straight tap back of your opponent's stone might be all we have left.
yeah, that's why I really like the double peel on the previous shot, because you open up the front, then they play one guard, and unless that guard is absolutely perfect, you can probably just make the straight tap, just chip a corner of that yellow stone in. They weren't that far away, or still have the tap if they had thrown a perfect guard. But anyway, it is what it is now.
So facing a steal, final stone of the third end. Matsumura's rock is on the way, needs to make this tap. Onto the red, onto the yellow, tap it up and perfectly thrown for shot. Clutch shot at an important time. They get their single. Martin and Laycock have the hammer when we return. You're watching Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Insisted had nothing to do with
And welcome back to Martensville. Clutch shot by Matsumura there in end number 3, Jason.
Yeah, great shot there at the end. That raise taps their Yellowstone up a foot onto the pin, and that brings the scoreline to 2-1. Yeah, if they had given up another steal, 3-0 would have been a bit of a deficit. You may have seen the power play go up next, but now Martin and Laycock have the hammer back, up by 1.
That was absolutely required to be made at that point.
Nice freeze from the Japanese duo.
And now here's Nancy Martin looking to counter that.
Yeah, try to sit right on top here. Try to create that that sandwich as you described, this time with strawberries on the outside with the lemon on the inside.
Oh, you don't want to leave it as an open face sandwich, though. Well, you jiggled it around.
Right on top.
Yeah, now they're going to come right down there. Now, all this talk of sandwiches, and I don't have bread at home right now.
Well, you can just make yourself a sandwich without the bread.
I have a lovely bowl of soup that I made. I made some leek and potato soup, which is absolutely fantastic. Perfect for a brisk day.
It's that season where a nice warm bowl of soup can make anybody's day.
And with 5 games to call today, we'll keep my voice hydrated.
Yasumasa Tanida now, trying to make a draw here. Good opportunity for them to put the pressure on after Nancy Stone was a little bit deep and heavy. Now you want this one to be above the tee line, top of the 4-foot, exactly where Chiaki's broom is. Almost exactly where it lands.
There you go. See Steve Laycock looking to run it back and kill some of these yellows.
Yeah, this is a very prudent call here.
So coming on down, right on the center line, run it back. Oh, just past the one on the top, but you did get lucky and clear the one out of the back, so it's better for sure.
Yeah, not too bad. Tanida going to put up a guard here. They'd like this guard to be past that red stone, the red guard a little bit if possible. That will make it harder for Steve to run the red stone in and try to sit 2.
So at this point, you're still looking to secure a steal opportunity.
Yeah, the steal is still on in this end. It is a little bit dangerous because you're leaving the other redstone in play. You could hit it if you wanted to get the force. But there's no force guarantee either, because if you hit the back redstone, Steve could hit the top one and roll behind the corner guard. So I think the guard is a good call right now. Called it a corner guard. It's kind of just more off-center than a corner, but...
Well, there is the center guard. Can make them both go. Question is that what you want to do?
Yeah, do you want to make the double peel here? That's what they've called. The straight run back is also there, but you'd leave the guards in play.
You could play a... Is there a world where you would consider playing a downweight shot and chase around the guard?
Yeah, you absolutely could. I mean, there's enough curl in this ice that you can definitely chase it. Now they've maybe reconsidering their option.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's make sure that we mention that the ice has lots of curl in it, just loud enough for James Gordon to hear it again. Always does such a great job with the ice in Martensville. When we do an event here, we know it's going to be good conditions for sure. Looks like they went back to that double peel.
Back four.
So it's on the way down. And Laycock's going to hit it and execute that peel. Gets his own out of the way. Can they sneak it on, spin it on? Oh, that's could come into play later.
Well, what a great double peel. That was dirty.
That's absolutely filthy.
I mean, I was gonna say if you make the double peel, you're almost gonna be forced here. But man, now that redstone is in play, Matsumura and Tanida have to be very careful here.
And this is where that guard with the last stone was dangerous, because they had the opportunity to just hit the open one and put the force on in that way. By throwing that guard and allowing that little bit of extra magic, now they are definitely going to be on their heels for the rest of the end.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to play the hit now and try to make the double as difficult as possible. I don't think you'll be guarding anymore in this situation.
Only way you would ever guard this is if you were tied to come home without and that had to score.
Absolutely, yeah, late in the game where the steal is a must. Right now, we're only at the fourth end here. Haven't even gotten halfway through, so a force is pretty good still. And as you mentioned before, each team has that power play, so you can always generate some offense with power plays.
Tanida asks for just a skosh less ice. He delivers his last. Electing to throw a draw. So they did settle on the guard. Extremely aggressive call, Jason.
Yeah, I think it is very aggressive. It was decently well executed. But you can see Nancy wondering, can you play a quiet wait, hold the shooter? come around that guard on that in-turn side and hold the shooter. Steve's looking at just running it and setting 2 that way.
Absolutely, that's perfectly fair.
They're having a pretty good look at this because they'd love to set 3 if they could. That's why they're contemplating that softer weight shot.
Yeah, if you ever make that chase, you are going to line up a double. There's no way your shooter doesn't roll into a place where there's a double available. That said, it still has to be made.
Yeah, I think the run is definitely... Yeah, this run is a little bit easier, I think, than that chase.
It doesn't give them what
There's also a little bit of risk with the chase.
Oh, for sure.
The chase, yeah, you could be a little bit tight. You can chip that guard in, and now all of a sudden you're getting forced again, so...
So Laycock hops up on his own right away. Gonna get it. Oh, it does jam on the back. So opportunity swings back for Matsumura and Tanida.
Yeah, that rock was just tight out of his hand. He was trying to hit it on the high side to avoid the jam, but got low, and
he knew it. You saw him jump up frantically.
Yeah, the mixed doubles game, so much athleticism required to throw the stone and then quickly jump up, catch up to a stone that's moving at a pretty good clip, and still try to do some sweeping. When you play mixed doubles, Dave, I don't know how much you've played, but I was playing some mixed doubles a weekend ago with my wife in a little fun bonds field locally, and we had a great time. She's first time for her playing mixed doubles, and she was saying how fast paced it was. It's like you're always doing something.
No, you certainly are always going. It's another one of those things where you very rarely put your gripper on. If you're a gripper sweeper, you just slide the whole time. So final stone for Matsumura and Tanida. This one's got a lot of work to do. It is not light.
No, it does need to get a...
Now they're going to think maybe they can come behind and hide that way. I think that's a great plan B.
Yeah, good plan B, but can you still make the double with soft weight, or is it just a draw for one here?
I think it is just a draw for one. I think they're going to get away with it.
Yeah,
I play some mixed. Yeah, I play some mixed doubles, Jason. Not a whole bunch. Did play in a Bonspiel last year, but it was at our home club. One of our longtime members asked me to play with her. I was happy to oblige.
Yeah, I think if you really wanted 2 points, you probably could play board weight at this and make the double on a soft board weight hit, but being up by 1 already, trying to get 1 more point, extend the lead to 2 is not a bad idea.
Yeah, definitely don't want to have any chance of giving up a steal here. Final stone of the 4th end. Nancy Martin facing 2. Needs all the 4-foot. And she makes that look easy. Single point for Martin and Laycock. We'll be back in the 5th end after this.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Welcome back to Martensville, fifth end of play, halfway through this affair. Nancy Martin and Steve Laycock hold a 3-1 advantage over their opponents. We're playing end number 5. It is Matsumura and Tanida with the hammer here, throwing the Yellowstones. And Jason, that end went back and forth just a little bit.
Yeah, the end was, in reasonable shape for Matsumura and Tanida early on. They had shot stone, they were protecting it, and then at some point things got opened up, and there was a chance maybe for 2 or 3 points from Laycock and Martin, but a couple of half shots, maybe at the end of the end, led to just a single point for Martin and Laycock. We have a bunch of fans from around the world, including Japan, following this game pretty late at night over there. The land of the rising sun. The sun will be rising in not too long.
And if you are over there, thank you for watching. Arigato gozaimasu. We appreciate it very much.
We're watching those. Sorry, Dave. I was saying we're watching the ad for with Sandra Schmirler in it, the legendary Sandra Schmirler, and of course this is an Olympic season, so mixed doubles, of course, will be very prominent in the Winter Olympic Games, of course, as is the men's and women's events as well, and Olympic trials this week in Canada.
And we just had our Olympic trials here in the United States.
And what a finish in the men's Olympic trials with Danny Casper winning the trials, but he still has to go to the Olympic qualification event in Kelowna to secure the USA's men's spot. And Tab Peterson as well, the women's spot as well, also has to be secured at that Olympic qualification event.
Now the Corey Dropkin and Corey Tisi, they are going to the Olympics. We do have the United States does have a spot secured.
Yeah, on the strength of their performance at the last couple of World Championships, or the strength of the U.S. performance, including their performance last year at the World Championships.
And certainly can't leave out, on the Paralympic side, Laura Dwyer and Steve Emp are going to be representing the USA in wheelchair mixed doubles. That's a new discipline to the Olympics.
Yeah, you've got wheelchair fours and wheelchair doubles now as well. Nice draw there by Steve Laycock.
Gotten to meet Steve Empt on multiple occasions. Great guy, very happy to see him make that Olympic trek to Cortina.
Well, I had the pleasure of curling with a wheelchair curler during the Summer League at Oakville Curling Club here in Ontario. First time I'd ever played with a wheelchair curler, and it's amazing how accurate they can be with the delivery stick. I'm always amazed when it's just fully wheelchair curling, how many shots are made, because they don't have the luxury of the sweepers.
Well, it just goes to when you end up playing a whole bunch of folks that are playing with sticks who've been curling for 40 or 50 years. They know the weight like the back of their hands, and it's just the emphasis is on that much more. So we see furious brushing here, trying to hold it out there. If they can lock it onto the red in the back, it's fabulous. Be very tight, doesn't have the legs. It's past that guard, and it's going to lock right on. Oh, yes. Nice throw and a huge scrub by Tanida.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to make it by at one point, but man, did Yasumasa Tanida ever hold that stone straight?
You see one more look at that.
Great shot. Well, still a chance here for Steve to get that yellow stone out. That yellow-yellow combination is there. I think that's what they're playing now.
So here comes Laycock. Nice clean release.
Hair too thin, I think.
Yeah, a little bit thin. It does move the yellows out of the scoring area, but that freeze opportunity is there, and that's where I would put it all day.
Yeah, it
So
did
I
accomplish the first goal
Yep.
of getting that yellow out of there, so it's not bad. I think the stones are very lively here because kind of hit it over the top and still got that yellow stone moving pretty good.
So big opportunity for Tanida to get one nestled in there so they can try to put together a multiple score in the fifth end. They've been struggling to really get any real traction here. Martin and Laycock have been dictating the pace most of the time here. In what is currently a very tight scoring game for mixed doubles.
Yeah, only singles scored so far, but 2 power plays still left. Of course, sometimes it's a bit of a cat and mouse of when you use your power play. You don't want it to go too early. Show your hand.
This one has plenty of weight.
Yeah, he has a little bit of backing to work with, but you still need to get this to be shot stone. It is, but it didn't quite get to the face of that red stone like it did that first time.
So do you like it there, or do you like the intern side better, Jay?
Yeah, it's a good question. I kind of like the intern side, quite honestly. I'm a bit worried that if you lay this rock on this side, will they try to blast? Can that red stone kind of squirt sideways?
They are going to stick with the out. Nancy made the case for the other side.
So if you lay this frozen slightly on the inside of that yellow stone, could Tanida blast it and get both reds moving sideways? That's my question. Or I guess even if it's sat on the outside, could you definitely be able to get the first red going?
Yeah,
Get
well,
that back red.
Right, step one is to make this one. Steve Laycock with it on the way. And they get it basically right where they wanted it.
Yeah, that is what they called.
So now taking a look at it, it's close for shot stone. I believe it's red by just a hair. Possibly a skosh.
We're having a good look at this.
So you see that suggestion there.
Yeah, I do think you have to do something here. I think you want to be able to move that red stone out if you can. And so this is a good way of doing it, coming in off. The thing though is if you come in off, you're only sitting one. I guess that's okay. The intern side's open, but then I'd imagine that Martin would come on the intern side and play the draw. My question is whether you can hit that red directly as much as you can. You'll go onto the back yellow, and then does that red one that's just nibbling the back of the button, will it squirt sideways any?
I think that the way you need to do it is if you're going to try to make that, is almost play it like a round the world shot. So come at it from the intern, hit a quarter of the stone, gear into the back yellow-red combination, and kick both reds out sideways that way.
Yeah, just trying to get a little bit more of an angle to get that red going sideways. Yeah, so they're looking at hitting this yellow stone, kind of as you were saying, and then kicking it sideways, and then maybe crotching the red and the yellow.
Yeah, I love the around the horn here. So big stone from Tanida.
The hair too thick, I think.
They
Yeah.
do get it. Yeah, a little bit too thick. For sure.
Yeah, now there is a big pocket in the back of the forefoot.
Certainly a very big pocket, and now Martin and Laycock had to be concerned. I think you just draw on the outturn side. That's my first thought, but...
That was my first thought too, and I think they've come to that conclusion now. They may have been looking at maybe hitting and rolling in off that red stone that's on the right side based on the overhead, that kind of 4 o'clock position or 3:30 position from the overhead. But I think the draw is a good call here.
So Nancy Martin with their final of the fifth.
Yeah, big opportunity to perhaps get another steal point in there.
This does not come up far enough, Jason.
Yeah, probably just had a hair too much weight. That was probably back 8 on its own, and that's why it never came up. And now opportunity for Matsumura and Tanida to get the second point in there.
Is there... Now there's no way to make 3 there, I don't think.
Can you see? Maybe. Can you come off that red one and...
Can you go around the horn the other way, eh?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think they probably settled on just taking the 2, though.
So, with 1 in their pocket, final stone of the 5th end.
Yeah, big opportunity to tie this game up. Looks pretty good. Making a bye?
Pretty good. Got to keep it moving. Is it going to move far enough? No, it's going to be just a single point. They lost the line on it. Opportunity missed for Matsumura and Tanida. Martin and Laycock have a 1-shot lead. They'll have the hammer in 6. When we come back, you're watching Curling Stadium.
Hey, Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsocktickets.com. Let's rock!
Welcome back to Martensville. It was a single point for Matsumura and Tanida. Martin and Laycock hold a 1-stone advantage with hammer here in end number 6 at the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial. Working hard to scrub this one over, and we can see that Martin and Laycock have chosen to move on to the power play.
Yeah, that means you get the center guard moves over to a corner guard. That rock that's normally behind the tee line on the back of the 4 is now sitting on the top side of the tee line, right behind that corner guard, and you get a choice of which side you want that guard to be. So the team calling the power play will get to decide whether they want it on the left side or the right side.
I need to get Rory to design us a power play bug or something like that, or some flashy graphic. I think that would be good.
Yeah, a little bit of a intro music to that power play would be nice as well.
Oh yeah, intro music, absolutely. I mean, I remember when I was a young guy, they had these little electric cars that would run on D-cell batteries, and they were called Power Wheels, and the commercial was "Pow, pow, Power Wheels, pow, Power Wheels, Power Wheels."
Well, I do remember that jingle, and you did a pretty good job there.
I mean, we could do the same thing for the power play for sure.
Yeah, with Matsumura and Tanida being down by one here, they did play the off-center guard, and the reason they did that, I think, was to choke off the corner guard.
Shout out to Rory McCusker with his super crazy awesome power play graphic right on cue. Oh man, that's why he's the best producer I am currently working with at the moment.
Yeah, our only producer that we work with, but nonetheless the best. The best there ever was.
High praise.
That is awesome. Oh, you got me there, buddy. Now that was a good draw by Tanida. Taps it back probably a skosh more than they would have liked.
Yeah, you're going to see Steve make a play on this.
You just pick it out and roll
around on the 5. Yeah, absolutely. Try to sit 3 here. 3 spread out.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And our last draw, we saw Rios and execute that one very well. The Swiss did a great job, and they just played their power play as a 3-rock split house and managed to hold it for 5 rocks almost. Now Rory is
soft weight here.
Absolutely. See if he can just pick it out. You want to hold the shooter. Don't want to involve the one in the back. Little brush. Pick it clean. Comes on over. Almost dead even. Picture perfect shot.
Yeah, well executed. A good freeze here will make it hard to remove. Stay on the high side a little bit. Then there will be a natural jam into that other red one. So just stay on the high side. But it is getting dangerous though. But leaving 3 red stones in the house.
Like you almost have to assume that a deuce is the best outcome on a power play, right?
Oh, for sure. You're almost willing to give up 2 during the power play. But of course, they don't want to do that because they're already down by 1. So this is now why they're looking at, should they guard here? Throw a second guard because they're really trying to get the force or maybe get a steal out of this end. You know, if they're working the math, this Japanese duo, if they give up 2 here to down by 3, they have the power play. They're going to use it in 7. Even if they score 3 to tie it up, Martin and Laycock will have hammer coming home in the 8th. So they really want to get a force here.
So the second delivery from Tanida.
And they are putting a guard or something in the top of the rings that will act as a guard. Problem with their original guard is it's just a bit too high. Because of the amount of curl, you can probably get around and punch a rock that's in the 4-foot right out. So that's why they wanted another guard.
So they needed another guard because it was high?
Yeah, that first one was too high. And Steve's trying to play a stone into the top of the 8 or the top of the 4. A piece behind that yellow stone that's in the top 12. This one's a bit out there, though. Will it walk over for him enough? He wants to get at least a piece buried here.
Do need to get a piece under, and you're not going to do it.
Yeah, now maybe a soft weight double and roll is on.
You certainly had to. You want your shooter to mean something now. That's critical that since you're facing forward.
You can also play a phrase or draw to that back red one. That's another way to get a force here. I kind of prefer the hidden roll, and I think that's what they've decided. Even if you jam this hidden roll, you'll still be second shot. And if you can just roll behind the guard, you will be buried, so.
Gonna take just another look at it, thinking maybe you'd come and draw down the back horn. Something to be said for that.
Also a good call, I think. So I think the hidden roll is what they've concluded. Right, Dave?
Yes. Oh, the more I look at it, the more I like the draw, but that's me.
Have they gone back to the draw now? I think they have.
Looks awfully heavy for a draw. Maybe a little draw tap. This has got a lot of pepper on it.
But the line's pretty good, so it might hang in there. It does.
It does, but it's accessible for sure. How would you want to come at that, Jason?
Yeah, the question is, do you make a straight play at it or play this promotion shot? I like the promotion shot better.
They went to that pretty quickly. This would...
It's hard to get it out. Yeah, hard to get it out.
Yeah. If this is made properly, they're going to be sitting 5 after this.
Yeah, and you want to leave your shooter as much there as possible, right in front of the button, so that you can use it again. You don't really want to roll behind the guard here. You might need to roll a little bit just to make sure you can kill the yellow one, because you have to at least get to nose.
So Laycock gets to nose, they roll it over, and they lie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just learned how to count this morning.
Up to 5. You need 6 for mixed doubles.
Well, I'm going to leave it on Martin and Laycock to let me see if I had to practice that.
Well, there's a bit of a pocket at the back now, and they really should have swept that rock a little bit more, Steve Laycock, because it just got a little bit buried behind that yellow, so you can't quite promote it straight back. And so as you can see, Tanida pointing, if you just lay this on the side of the button, on the right-hand side of the button, as you see it from the thrower's perspective, be quite difficult for Nancy Martin to remove because it will naturally jam on those back red stones if you try to pick it. And you can't make the straight back on the red anymore because it's slightly buried. Yeah, we'll see if that comes back to hurt Laycock and Martin, having just let that rock maybe overcurl just a bit.
So their final of the 6th. Needs a good one here. On it a little bit for line, now pounding it hard. Got to get past the top guard. Got to get past it. You did. Now as far as over as it can come. Oh, did it have too much weight in it? Did it leave a run hit there for 6?
The 6 looks pretty tough. I'm not sure the 6 is there.
Or just a heavy draw. Well, the heavy draw is what, for 2?
Yeah, the heavy draw might only be for 2. I think they're going to try to pick this. They might lose that red stone at the back of the 8-foot.
Right, you pick it through the hole. You could even lose 2 of them and end up with 3.
Yeah. 3 would be pretty good here. That looks like about half a rock. A big opportunity here for Martin and Laycock. Yeah, if that Matsumura stone had just stopped a foot higher, this shot wouldn't have been there.
So big opportunity. Nancy Martin, final stone of the 6th. Laycock on it and off it, so it's likely very close. Now switching over the curling side, trying to carve it over just a skosh. They pick it and they jam it, and they still get 1. A single point for red. They're going to take a 4-2 lead. Take one more look to confirm it. They are going to measure those 2, it looks like. Take it, just asking their partner to take a look. I think it's red all day.
From the overhead, I would agree with you. Yeah, Nancy just got it a bit too thin. And that stone ran pretty straight on her.
Well, looks like we're likely putting the stick on it.
If she had hit that any thinner, it would have been yellow being shot stone. She just caught enough of that yellow to not push the red too far.
So make your votes here in the chat right now. This is winning answers. Receive 37 curling zone, curling stadium bonus points. They're redeemable every 24th, February 29th. I think it's red. Jason thinks it's red.
We could both be wrong, Dave.
Impossible. Okay, here we go. We're going to get a good look here. Swinging onto it. They have the fine micrometer version. So a little tougher to read the dial on a camera, but we're going to get an indication here pretty quick. It is red all day, so it is that single point. We'll be back on Curling Stadium after this.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
And welcome back to Martensville. And we are back on the power play. Cue the super awesome power play graphic. But it was a... There it is. Thank you very much. And I'm Dave Schmel, Jason Chang. And Rory McCusker is our super crazy awesome producer today. And that was a big force for Matsumura and Tanida to hold them to only one on the power play.
Yeah, the end was looking very scary for Matsumura and Tanida, but a mistake there at the end by Nancy Martin. Just hit that rock too thin, got it out a little bit, ran straight on her, couldn't remove the yellow stone, and only ended up with the single point. And now an opportunity for Matsumura and Tanida to take advantage with their own power play, now only down by 2 because they got the fours. It's Martin, Laycock 4, Matsumura, Tanida 2.
And you see that first shot that was attempted by Martin and Laycock. They tried the push shot, but didn't really clear it. So Matsumura and Tanida went for the simplified strategy of just splitting the house. And that stone that, even though it's sitting wide open in front of Nancy's feet, she can't touch it. Well, she can touch it, but she can't remove it.
That's right. No rocks may be removed until that the fourth thrown stone.
And I think that this strategy that they just executed is something which too many people just forget. You always say splitting the house is a good thing. It's tough to split the house in a 4-person game right off the jump and hold it the whole time, but a lot less rocks to have to hold it for in mixed doubles.
Yeah, and Steve and Nancy, they're trying to neutralize this split yellow stone situation by going around this corner guard, this double corner guard now. They created this double corner after the little bit of a miscue on that push shot. Just a hair too deep. The line was great. It is second shot, but it is too deep.
Which is going to invite a third rock in, really.
Oh, for sure.
Saying, come on over, have some coffee.
You know, we're on the feature sheet, but we're only one of 4 games out there. And I'm looking at some of the scores on the other sheets there. And Lotta Immonen and Sipila from Finland leading 10-4 over Kalka and McAlpin. The Polish team of Walta and Augustiniak leading 7-1. That's a final already over Ingram and Tenenchuk. And Springer and Springer 4-2 over Remeshlo and Dirksen. They're in the 6th end as well.
The Polish team curls out of the only dedicated ice club in Poland, which is located in Łódź, Poland, which, if you look at the spelling. It says Lodz. It is pronounced Wudge. It is actually my family's ancestral hometown.
Oh, is that right?
Yep, I visited Wudge for a week and a half a few years back. Lovely
Did you visit
city.
Did you visit the curling rink?
I did not. I didn't know there was a curling club there at the time. And I went during the summer, so I don't think they had ice.
All right, back to our game, and now they've decided to play this draw, put another one behind this corner situation.
They got it back there. It is shot stone now, so they do lie 1 and 2. So do you go on top there, Jay?
I'd be tempted to. I'm not sure there's a lot of other good plays here other than going on top. You could hit this open one, but I'd be worried about the Japanese team putting another one around that corner again. And right now they line up onto a jam on that back red, so it's really hard to remove if you just stuck another one on top. So those are your two choices, really. But I think Martin and Laycock, they're also thinking about the math, right? They know if they give up just 2 points, they'll come home with the hammer. I think they'll be pretty happy with that situation. So I think they'll try to avoid giving up 3 at all costs here.
So playing the open hit, keeping it a little closer to the vest.
You do need to sit shot after this, though. You want to force Matsumura and Tanida to make a play on this red at some point. They're going to ignore it right now and go around again. This is what I was telegraphing before. You sit it right there and you can't really hit it because it'll jam right onto that red stone in that 4 o'clock position in the back 8.
So they are taking the stand right now. This is the Alamo for Matsumura and Tanida.
Yeah, they know how to do math too, right? They're thinking we need to get 3 because 2 is not enough. We're going to come home without hammer, so. And if this shot is made, it'll be very interesting to see what Laycock and Martin do. The weight looks pretty good, as does the line.
That is a perfect line, I would say. What makes that so good, in my opinion, is you could throw a double off of that and make the red, jam out the other red in the back. Oh, yeah, that's great.
Right, I see what you mean. Yeah, there's that kind of a double for 4 right now. If this was the last rock, or if there were no more rocks left, there is a double for 4 right now.
And Laycock and Martin have to have seen that. Well, you see Chiaki kind of taking a look at that too right now. The only defense is to get right in there. And you see that right there on the overhead. It is tailor-made right now. Perfect 90-degree angles to make it.
Yeah, and they've increased the difficulty for this freeze because of the way Tanida froze on top. It's hard to get this one to be shot stone or second shot stone. You have to angle it perfectly, so we'll see if Steve can negotiate this.
Steve needs all the curl he can get to get onto it even a piece, and they won't.
The good news is they are shot in second shot.
So at what point do you start trying to address it?
You definitely have to get rid of one redstone right now.
And they're
I don't
looking to
know
see
if
if they can play this steep double now. Do you think it's there?
Don't know if that top red one will go. Looks like it's jamming right into the Yellowstone.
Oh. You see where they indicating the contact point is. That's very close to missing it.
Yeah, it's pretty thin.
I mean, that's going to be thinner than a tomato on a fast food sandwich.
She always like, why is curlers always tell everybody to strategy? They just talk about
So big shot here for Tanida with his final of the 7th. Lots of weight. Not a lick on it. Gonna get the one across the house. Out the back they all go. My, oh my.
Great shot. They couldn't hold the shooter, unfortunately, and they did lose that stone on the one of their yellow stones at the back, so that's why they're only sitting 2. But look at the replay here. Big weight, extension there. They needed to hit it a hair thinner, actually. So they were playing the intern, so it didn't curl quite enough. If they hit it thinner, that shooter would have stuck.
Either way, a fantastic outcome there. Killing both of the counting stones for Martin and Laycock. And now, final stone coming up for Nancy Martin.
Yeah, I guess the bad news for the Japanese team is if Nancy lays down a corner freeze here, Matsumura and Tanida will be forced to the single. So important freeze here for Nancy Martin.
Big shot here for Nancy Martin. Needs a perfect draw. And this one is not going to get to the corner. Oh no, it slides by, Jay.
Just a little bit heavy again, and I've actually seen this from Nancy in this game. Even though they've been leading 4-2, her draws haven't been quite as precise on the weight all game, actually. Always a couple feet too heavy or a couple feet too light. And that one was a couple feet too heavy. Yeah, opens the door wide open now for that 3. Pretty simple shot here for Chiaki. It is wide open. I think the only thing that might be a little tricky is you rarely throw the inside out hit during a mixed doubles game because all the action's towards the middle. So it could be a little bit of a guess on the ice, but the ice has been so consistent that I think they'll know exactly where to put the broom. Just execution.
So looking to get a 3-ender final stone of the 7th end. Trying to carve it over. This has got to move. Got to make contact.
I think
hold
she's
the
got nice weight on it.
Yes, you do. And that's 1, 2, and 3. They take a 5-4 lead. Martin and Laycock will have the hammer coming home in the 8th here on Curling Stadium.
Hey, Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
And welcome back to Martensville. It's the 8th end here at the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial. Big 3 on the power play for Matsumura and Tanida. Martin and Laycock have the hammer. Coming home here in end number 8, I'm Dave Schmel, joined by Jason Chang. Rory McCusker handling our production duties this morning. Thank you so much for watching us here on Curling Stadium.
Yeah, that 3 really stands out on the scoreboard right now. Single points all the way through so far, except that 3 that came about during that power play. Well executed by Matsumura and Tanida. They got a little mistake there by Nancy Martin right at the end, trying to make the freeze to get out of the end, and that's what set up the open hit.
So now we'll be up to the veteran duo to craft a deuce to secure the win here in the 8th. And it's not going to be the easiest of tasks because, as you mentioned, it's been all single points.
Yeah, let's see if Nancy can make this draw this time. She's been struggling a little bit with the speed on these draws. Some are a little bit light, some a little bit heavy. This one maybe a couple of feet light now. Yeah, it is in there, so, you know, Red's got second and third shot. Enough red rocks to win the game. Just have to make the yellow ones go away now. But of course, Matsumura and Tanida, they're going to try to congest that middle.
And we have another final. Yeah, we have another final score on the ice. Immerman and Sippola have defeated Kalkin McAlpine by a score of 10-6.
Yeah, it's a very good team from Finland. Very experienced in mixed double. I've had a chance to play them a few times over the years. Tanida playing the corner freeze, I believe. Onto that stone that Nancy Martin just played.
It's gonna chisel it just a touch, but it's in a pretty good position.
Yeah, still on the corner.
And from that broom placement, there's a look at James Gordon, the ice maker and club manager. Clean and well lubricated blade is a happy blade.
Yeah, the scraper is very important to a curling club and the quality of the ice. I know I've experienced at my club sometimes your blade gets broken and you don't have a replacement on hand, and the ice is just not as quick and not as consistent if you can't scrape it.
So here's Laycock looking to play the little tap up here.
Line looks pretty good. Red onto yellow.
Red onto the yellow, and by the time you're done, you're sitting 2.
A really nice shot.
The angles are really good for Laycock and Martin right now.
Yeah, I think this forces Tanida to play the yellow onto the red. They've got to change this angle now.
Just making sure that they're on the same page here. Thinking maybe you draw around. I mean, Jason, if you ever came to the ones in the back, is that helping you or not?
I don't know if it's helping you, because then it lets Laycock promote the red one again, and you'll have some more backing there. So this isn't a bad call either, but also a lot of bad things could happen if you jam it.
There are definitely jam possibilities coming this way.
I'm not sure the red stone that's on the top of the button is going to get out. I think that one's jamming for sure.
Yeah, the middle one I don't think ever goes away. It's a matter of whether you can clear that one that you first come in contact with. To have them both jam, that would be very unfortunate. So we're going to see what happens here. Tanida fires the cannon. Not a lick. And that is not what you drew up.
Yeah, red's still sitting 1 and 2.
That just got out there and never really had a chance there, Jason.
Yeah, just a little bit too wide. Didn't need to come up all that much to make contact. Martin and Laycock trying to draw one in here. The positioning is important. I think you need to get this stone at least to the nose of that red stone that's on the top of the button. If you leave it on the high side on an angle, that may actually allow Matsumura and Tanida to promote the yellow stone more easily, because they have a rock that's a bit higher they can hit it into.
So Laycock's delivery. Giving it a moderate scrub.
Yeah, but they want it to come tight to the second yellow one, so that I think it's crashing on it now.
They chiseled off of it, but I think that's fine.
Might be okay.
Yeah, or is it? I mean, it's... As I said, fine. I was making a very unfine face.
I'm looking if the triple is there, and it's not the easiest. Might be there, though, the triple.
Mm-hmm. You might, the way they're looking at making it now, you hit and throw that first one over the top and make it that way.
Yeah, they're not playing the yellow onto the red, because this red stone that they're hitting first, that's in such a good spot, it could be easily promoted back into the yellow. So that's why they're looking at this triple here.
So you see there, there's the contact point that they want on both the first and second one. So a little to the left of nose as we're looking at on the second rock is what you have to drive it into. So it's about quarter to a third of the rock that they're hitting now. Difficult shot, but certainly there. Tanida. Easy there. Gonna get the one just over the top. And luckily everyone survives. No worse for wear. Little smile there.
Yeah, just a little bit too thin on that top stone.
Him and Nancy Martin are having a good laugh about that. Nancy's probably saying, that's why I let Steve sweep him.
Well, they'd like to position this one a little bit better than last time. They left the triple last time. They want to get by that guard. It's easier now because they've moved it over, but onto the face of their own. Red stone, that's in the top of the 4, or in the top of the button, excuse me. Try to get slightly to the inside if they can. That way, that yellow promotion will be very difficult to use.
So Laycock's last.
Trying to carve it over.
Okay, is that good enough, Jason?
It's pretty good, but is the triple still there? That's still my question. Hard to get the top one out, but I'm not sure you have a whole lot else, quite honestly. You don't have the pin anymore. Before that tap, you could have maybe drawn to the side of the button on the intern side. That's not there anymore.
Yeah, the one that's on the pin right now, I think, is always nutting in the back. I don't know how it's not. Or the first one he come in contact is going to jam.
I think Steve's done a pretty good job with that angle. The only other, not a lot of options, quite honestly. You can probably still make a raise of your Yellowstone onto the top of the button, or draw to the side of the button.
This does look to be almost like the impossible dream right here.
Yeah, remember Martin and Laycock, they still need 2 though, so if they can, the second shot after the stone, Martin Laycock will still need to find a way to score that second point for the win.
So Matsumura with her final stone of the 8th. Gonna make contact. They get 1 and 2 going. So they are second shots. Gonna force a draw.
Yeah, but like we said, that top one was always going to be very difficult to remove. But it does force a draw, like you said, and Nancy has been a little bit spotty on the weight on her draws. Now, the good news for her is she's got full 8-foot, and she has been hitting full 8-foot with her weight. She's just sometimes been a couple feet light of T-line and a couple feet heavy, but she's always kind of been in that 8-foot zone. So I'm expecting her to make this, even though she's had a little bit of weight problems today.
So for the game, Nancy Martin, her and Steve Laycock, lie 1. Final stone of the 8th. They need the full 8. Laycock on the brush, walking it down. Needs to settle. Is it gonna settle? Try to scrub it back, scrub it back, scrub it back. It's gonna be really close. Oh, and it does look like it held on, but it's very, very close. Teams are gonna take a look at it. It's 1 for sure.
It is very close.
And Steve thinks it's him.
I agree with him. It looks like they're going to put a stick on it. Why not?
We're here anyway.
Yeah, build up that suspense. Well, like
either way, a good game back and forth to watch thus far.
Yeah, the question is whether we get bonus curling or not. I'm sure all the Japanese fans hoping we get some bonus curling, but you know, kind of like I was saying before, Nancy's just been a little bit off with her weight. Not too far off, but always a couple feet heavy or a couple feet light this game, and this time a couple feet heavy. Will it cost them the win here?
All right, so here is the measure. The chat thinks it's red. For the most part. Past the yellow, swinging around. And it's red by a country mile. And that'll be a win for Nancy Martin and Steve Laycock by a score of 6-5.
Well, what a finish there. A couple of measures in this game, including that final stone. And like a veteran, Nancy Martin uses all the rings to get that second point.
Well, they gave it all to her, and she used every bit of it. So thank you for watching. We'll be back shortly with just another draw. It's been a great game here for Jason Chang and Rory McCusker. I'm Dave Schmelt. Thank you for watching Curling Stadium on SSN.